Creating conversation sentences with simple present tense. Understanding the function of simple present tense. 1. Describing truths or general facts. The simple present tense is used to state facts or truths that are not only applicable in the present but also have existed since the past and may continue into the future. Notice the following conversation examples. Conversation 1. You see, the planets go around the sun. Right. And the moons go around the planets. I agree with you. Conversation 2. The river Amazon is located in Brazil. Yes, and it flows along the Amazon forest. It must be a big river. Conversation 3. Mom, where does the nurse work? It's easy, honey. Everyone knows that the nurse works in the hospital. Thanks, Mom. 2. Expressing activities done repeatedly as a habit or daily routine. Sentences like these are usually accompanied by adverbs of frequency such as always, usually, often, never, etc. Notice the following conversation examples. Conversation 1. I usually get up at 5. What about you? Well, I get up at 6, and then I take a bath and go to school. Don't you have breakfast? Conversation 2. What time do you usually have lunch? Lunch? I usually have lunch at 12, but my boss usually has lunch a bit later. Do you have lunch in the office canteen? Conversation 3. How often do you swim? Oh, me? I never swim. To tell you the truth, I can't swim. And you? I love swimming. I go swimming twice a week. Understanding the adverb of frequency in simple present tense. Some forms that belong to the adverb of frequency are always, usually, often, sometimes, seldom, rarely, hardly ever, and never. Below is a chart that clarifies the frequency level of certain activities. The percentages indicate how often the activities are performed. Example sentences with adverbs of frequency in simple present tense. I always brush my teeth before going to bed. She usually takes the bus to work. They often go to the movies on weekends. We sometimes play board games in the evening. I seldom write in English. He rarely eats fast food. They hardly ever visit their grandmother. Mary never drinks coffee in the afternoon. Usually, adverbs of frequency are placed after the subject and before the verb. Although sometimes they can be placed at the beginning or end of the sentence. The common question used to inquire about the frequency level is how often. Below are some short conversations about adverbs of frequency in simple present tense. Conversation 1. How often do you write emails? I just sometimes write emails. What about you, Julie? I write an email every morning. Every morning? And you, Alice? I write emails only once a week. Conversation 2. Hi Angie, how often do you see a movie? Well, I often see a movie, perhaps twice a week. And you, Debbie? I hardly ever see a movie, frankly speaking, I'm not fond of seeing movies. Differences between present continuous tense and simple present tense. Difference 1. Present continuous tense. In general, Present continuous tense is used to talk about things that are happening or something that is taking place while talking about it. Example of sentences. Is your mother sleeping now? I'm still doing my homework. Simple present tense. In general, the simple present tense is used to express things that are done repeatedly and become habits. The simple present tense can also be used to state indisputable facts. Example of sentences. I usually get up before 6. Penguins live in a place with cold temperatures. Difference 2. Present continuous tense. Sentence patterns in the present continuous tense are used to express situations that occur within a certain period of time and are temporary. Example of sentences. Budi is living with his friend in Hong Kong at the moment. The meaning. For the time being, Budi lives in Hong Kong. There is a possibility he will move to another city. Simple present tense. Sentence patterns in the simple present tense are used to express situations that are more permanent in nature. Example of sentences. Tina lives in Australia. She has lived there all her life. The meaning. Tina has lived in Australia since birth until now and may in the future still live in Australia. So Tina is already living in Australia permanently.